it would be weird to play your intro. But why not? What's your intro song sound like for Perfect Person?
Oh, yeah, because I didn't play it for you. Sometimes I don't.
What does it sound like?
Play it?
Hey, creepy. Ooh, no, show tunesy.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's jazz,
Hey.
jazzy is what I prefer.
I don't want to take this for this episode, but since you've already played it.
Yeah,
Oh, and it fades out?
Yeah.
Miles, you are coming over to set up my apartment.
I would love to. I would
house.
really love to set up your studio.
I believe you because you're good at this.
It is something that I love to manage cables. I love to set up little equipments.
What?
My favorite thing.
I am hard as a rock because I'm going to send you a picture of my office and you're going to cry.
I just find that people don't know how good it could be.
Exactly. I don't know how to do what you've done here.
Yeah,
and a
right.
rug with tape?
Mm-hmm.
Guys, in case you don't know, welcome to Confidently Insecure, the podcast where we're absolutely sure we don't know everything. I'm your host, Kelsey Darragh. And today, if you haven't already been able to tell by the voice, it is what I'm calling, stealing from him, professional sidekick, Miles Bonsignore.
That's right.
From Perfect Person podcast.
Yep.
Which I was just on.
Uh-huh.
You're also a producer for the Try Guys.
Yep. Producer Try Guys.
You're also the producer for Guilty Pleasures podcast.
That's correct. Yep.
And every other podcast that's there.
Yep.
And what else?
Most of the shit I do. I produce all the Try Guys shows. I produce my own show, Perfect Person. I'm a singer.
That's actually in my questions.
Am I a singer?
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
No.
I did sing a cappella in high school.
And people want to know why you aren't singing anymore.
That's a good question. I'd love to, it's actually my goal to surprise release an album.
Shut up.
I think it'd be really funny to release. And then the whole caveat of that is but maybe some of those songs are good. And
Yeah,
that's the trap.
but they're sneaky good.
They're sneaky good.
Did you say it's going to be trap music?
No. That's the trap of, yeah, you think I'm going to release trap music?
People wouldn't expect it. Talk about a surprise.
Because I've done a couple theme songs for the Try Guys for Advice I'll Go for Miles, where I make my own theme songs for that. And I really enjoy it. And I was like, it'd be funny to release an album that's all of those plus a couple original songs.
I'm glad we got the exclusive here first on Confidently Insecure, which, by the way, guys, if you're very confused on youtube.com/Kelsey Darragh where the fuck I am, I'm in Miles' studio.
That's right. Yeah.
We just did Perfect Person.
That's right.
It was so fun.
Thank you for being on.
This podcast, we've been doing a series on breakups, which everyone knows I went through because, God, if you don't, where have you been? And I figured we could use a little break. We could use a little break from the breakup content.
Okay, yeah.
And because this is the podcast where we're absolutely sure we don't know everything, I know that I don't know everything about you, Miles.
Yes.
People like you.
And they do?
Did you know you're like a popular little boy?
That's very sweet.
It's not being sweet, it's being truthful.
That's lovely to hear.
When I tell you, I told the audience you were coming on the pod, I said, do you have any questions? You had the most questions submitted of any guest.
Wow.
And I've had guests.
Yeah, no, I know.
I've had Eugene.
Yeah, wow.
And more people wrote in questions for you.
That is really lovely.
So I figured what a way to take a break than to spend this entire episode asking you questions.
Wow. I mean, I love to talk about myself.
Which is crazy.
Which is crazy. You told me something. What was it? You categorized.
I changed your life?
No.
Oh.
Don't. You told me, this is a couple months ago, you were like, well, yeah, you have a I don't give a shit attitude.
Oh, yeah.
And it really kind of set me for a loop because I was like, I don't think that I have that attitude at all. But
that was wild.
Maybe I'm giving that off.
And that was probably, I'd say I've gotten to know you better. We've gotten closer as friends doing Guilty Pleasures. I see you twice a week, whether I like it or not.
That's right.
And that was my impression of you for years.
Was as a cool behind the scenes guy who
just doesn't give a shit what anybody thinks. Man. And still. Yeah. My mind hasn't been changed. I still believe you don't give a shit about what people think about you.
Wow.
So I'm here to expose you.
Please.
Okay, I want to know how much you care about things.
A lot.
First, how do you feel about the SNL sketch that just came out about the Try Guys last night?
I thought it was fucking so disappointing.
It was not very funny.
How can you? I mean, again, I'm probably gonna talk around some of this because I can't
I don't edit my podcast. So do your best.
Kelsey doesn't edit her podcast.
No, I've been doing it for too long.
So I'm gonna speak carefully.
Okay.
But I think that to get a football. That is these YouTubers who make YouTube-y content. And they had this scandal happen to get that football and to fumble it so hard to be why are you that's the
They
bit?
picked up the cooler on the sidelines and you're like, guys, there's a football.
There's so much fun stuff here, but you picked the only bad take.
There was only one bad take and you guys found it.
Yeah, I just thought that was so crazy.
Were you surprised?
I mean, I don't watch SNL typically. I like a lot of the people on it. I'm not like one of the, I think that I'm not like a super fan of the show, but obviously it's SNL. Like,
yeah.
Somebody they were talking about SNL and they were like, well, yeah, like we get that like you don't like SNL, but what else are you going to watch?
Exactly.
Like it is what it is. The show
got legacy.
It's got legacy. And so like I like that show, but I just thought it was like kind of disappointing and just, obviously people on the internet do not understand anything and it's crazy frustrating.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll say this. This is
please.
Actually, yeah.
No, give me your take.
Do people think that the problem with Bill Clinton was that he cheated? Because that's the take. That's the take.
Yeah, that's
that
the
I'm
take.
seeing is people are being like, yeah, Bill Clinton got in trouble because he cheated. No, you fucking morons. I'm sorry.
No, I'm so glad you're saying this because I've been trying to put my finger on it, especially from yesterday after seeing the sketch this morning, which I was like, same feeling. I was trying to feel what it is that I'm angry about with how bad it was. And like, I'm assuming some of those writers, like some of the actors, they're like young comedians. They know how the internet works. Someone could have punched that script up.
Yeah.
Someone could have done and been like, this actually isn't, it sounded like it was written by someone who had never been on the internet and wrote a take about it.
Right.
Based off of Twitter threads.
I get based off of it being trending.
Yeah.
And there's so many funny things to roast. Again, our career is stupid.
Yeah.
There's so much there, and it's just like, wow, this could have been good.
How do you feel that they did with the impressions?
That was kind of funny.
That was fun. That was what I thought.
The outfits, that was all cute. I saw the screenshot and I was stoked.
Yeah.
I saw the screenshot and somebody was like, oh my God. And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like, what a fun, yeah, great, of course.
And then you listen and you're like, it's 5 minutes of the wrong point.
Poo-poo.
Were you hoping they were going to cut to Miles? Because I was wanting more than nothing else than to see like Miles come in through the background or like a Rainy pop up or just like somebody.
They were like, we know we're already playing in obscurity here, but let's go deeper.
Let's go meta. Like we want to go down the rabbit hole.
I'm surprised that someone didn't come out in a.
What celebrity on SNL would you want to play you?
Jost.
Yeah, yeah. Punchable face like yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a beard though.
He's got a beard. It's called Scarlett Johansson. Zing. Where's my zing?
That's
hit your soundboard. Thank you. Okay, so that was the hot up top take that everyone, of course, wants to know. They all want the juice. It's corn. So now I'm going to just go in without any context, asking questions that people wrote in about.
Yeah.
This is a chaotic format I've never done on the podcast.
Okay, cool.
Wow. Ready.
Are you breaking format because of me or because you didn't plan anything?
No, because I so desperately wanted to not talk about my
Your
life
breakup? Yeah.
and all the drama and the juice that's been going on in my life that I was like, do the work for me, internet.
Oh yeah,
fans.
Sure. It's a lot to talk about your breakup for a long time.
Well, not only that, but like things are developing. Mama's out on the town.
I know, yeah.
And every time something happens when I'm out on the town, I'm like, it's the first time I've been like, should I tell the internet this?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I'm glad to be talking about someone else.
Okay, cool.
And I didn't plan. So your perfect bath setup.
Yeah.
Tell us what it is. And this person wrote your perfect bath setup ? A little bath bomb, aromatherapy, in parentheses. This is a legit cue, I promise.
No. Well, I'm known for, you would know this, but I'm known for bathing.
Why wouldn't I know this?
Because I guess I don't perceive you as someone who listens to the podcast.
You're right. You're right.
The
Your perception is correct.
No, I talk a lot about baths.
You're a grown man who likes baths.
And I'm too big for the bath. I'm 6 foot.
It does weird me out that a grown man is into bath, and I can't explain why.
Well, here's the thing. To me, a bath is a water sauna, and I love a sauna. I love to schwitz, sweat, heat, just being in there. An unstructured free time where I can't really be on my phone because I'm in the tub, but I can watch Grey's Anatomy.
Do you like jacuzzis?
Love a jacuzzi.
Love a jacuzzi.
You know what I love about a jacuzzi though is if it were vertical and it was just me in the jacuzzi.
So a shower, vertical?
No. Horizontal. Is what I
If
meant.
you were horizontal.
Because I like
okay.
the tub because it's like a little relaxation sesh. And I think that my bird bath setup is Epsom salt.
Oh,
Too
for a broken boy.
Too much Epsom
too
salt.
much where your butt's on it and you're like, oh no.
Yeah, people are being like,
Ow.
oh, just put half a cup. I'm putting 3 cups in.
3 bags.
Every
try.
time, yeah.
Also, what is the measurements on Epsom salt? What's
No.
that about?
Dude, I'm dumping. If I make it past like 3 or 4 baths after a
Yeah.
bath, I no.
You know you haven't done judge.
Epsom salt and
Mhm.
Lush bath bomb. So I'm doing both
Ooh.
because Lush, I like the oils and whatever that's nice for my skin, but the Epsom salt is like for healing purposes. So I do a ton of Epsom salt, also a bath bomb, but here's the key is you don't want a bath bomb that's yellow because it reminds you of piss.
Do you get UTIs from this?
I don't.
Got a lot of fragrance in there.
Lush bath bombs?
Yeah.
Do Lush bath bombs cause UTIs in women?
I think they can make you yeasty. They can upset the pH if you've got too many things. Like tea tree oil is great for the puss.
My urethra is just fine, but I do think that that's something to watch out for.
Honestly, I wanted to know if how the status of your urethra. That was
And
the
it's
point of that
good. It's
question.
going fine. But I will also say that I'm lighting a candle.
Oh, what kind?
Brown sugar chestnut, Chesapeake Bay, the collection. I've said this a bunch of times online in many, many different formats. Don't get Chesapeake Bay candles. Chesapeake Bay, the collection.
Okay.
Fancy shit, double wick, big, deep pour candles for $13 from Target.
No.
Great.
No.
Well, you know what I'm also saying, though?
Huh. This is your episode.
White wax. It's
White
not
wax?
colorful wax. I don't like a colorful wax candle. It makes me feel
neither.
cheap.
Yeah, and if it gets anywhere, bye to
Yeah,
that
bye.
thing.
So it's white wax and it smells really good.
I'm so glad you talked about Target candles because they are truly underrated.
No.
A wood wick, a fat wood wick,
Oh, yeah.
crackling in my fireplace.
Wood wicks are good, but they're loud.
I like that.
You like the
I
loud.
want to feel like at any time like a fire could break out because I forget I have candles lit all the fucking time. And now that I live alone,
Oh,
danger
man. Man.
station.
When I come home and I'm like, I left a candle.
Could everything I love and known be gone and worked for?
That would
Is
be-
it all gone in a flash?
That would be
fire?
horrible.
But hot. Great romance novel. Fucking sorry. Okay, next question. Aside from Dua Lipa, who do you think is an idea first for perfect person? I don't understand the grammar of that question, which is why I put it up top.
Ideal guest, I'm guessing is what they're saying.
Okay.
Dua Lipa is the pivotal guest. We want her to be on the show
Why?
because she has a podcast
Okay.
and she's a star.
Okay. Do you think she's perfect?
I think she's close.
What's wrong with her? Dissect a woman, Miles. I dare you.
Whoa. If I could dress down Dua Lipa, no, I think she's great. I don't have
think
anything bad to say about her.
perfect person for me,
Mhm.
Zendaya.
Oh, it is really talented.
And she's so cool that she would be like, no, I'm not perfect.
Dude, when you see her in like Euphoria and then you're also like, oh, fuck, I forgot you were in like Spider-Man and you're also really good at it.
Hot take, don't think she was that good in Spider-Man. They didn't give her anything.
I mean, it's Spider-Man.
Okay, fair.
Like, it's like Zendaya's not like, what do you think that her character's going to like do some, it's a fucking big popcorn, you know?
Yeah, I guess now that I've seen her as Rue, I want to see her as more grit.
She's so good as Rue, too.
Tell the Academy.
That show is bad, but she is good in it.
Like, are you so excited for season 3?
Psyched. I'll
Yeah.
watch every episode.
Are you going to watch the Sam Levinson Khalid show on HBO Max?
I don't think so.
Okay. What is your journey to producing other people's projects as well as your own? Like, how do you balance caring and giving a fuck about anyone else's shit now that you're your own hot topic? And yes, I do mean the store.
Well, that's a good point. How do I care?
Yeah, like how do you give a fuck about guilty pleasures when you're out here producing a hot pod?
Well, I like guilty pleasures.
You
lot.
do?
I really do.
Plug.
It's one of my top 3 podcasts that I produce. Well, you guys have a lot of fun on there, and
We
I
sure
really
do.
like witnessing it.
And you like movies.
And I love movies.
You're a cinephile.
I'm a cinephile.
Not to be confused with the other file.
What's the other file?
Pedo?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would say, to dive deeper into the question, when I was in college, was like, I want to be a performer. I want to be a silly boy. I want to be a professional,
Nailed it.
actor, whatever, performer, all that stuff. But I was like, I don't want to just like be an actor because I see those people and they don't have any money. And they don't have any money, and it's really hard to be an actor. But so I was like, well, let me learn how to edit and shoot and do all this shit, so that way I can like do that and make more money. And then even though that's a hard career too, but then I can also do that shit for myself. I can produce my own projects, I can shoot my own projects, whatever. And so I learned how to do all that. got the job with the Try Guys. That is giving me a platform. I work with a lot of really great people. It's really fun. It's not like, I don't know. It's fun. We produce fun podcasts. The Tripod I'm also like a part of.
Yeah.
Like I get to have a voice on there, and that's really fun. You Can Sit With Us is really charming. Guilty Pleasures is really funny. Like I like all sorts of different things there. So to me, like both, it's fun to do both. Like I Try Guys. I also like I get to work with a team.
Yeah,
that's really great. I get to work with Rainey. She's my assistant. She's fantastic.
Shout out
Rainey. And I don't know. I think the two like are separate. I think I like to have my hand in a lot of pots. I like to be like, oh, I'm growing my little podcast over here. I'm like my YouTube channel.
It's not so little.
Oh, well,
Miles, you're about to outgrow your position as a podcast producer. Am I right?
Well, look,
are you gonna leave us?
Easy. I do. I think that they're both. I don't know. It's really nice. Also, the Try Guys is so big that it's cool to have a hand in that. And to be like part of something that's bigger than myself, and then to also build up, and it's all
be able to do both. Because so many environments don't allow that,
right? Which is really awesome, but it's all part of the same thing.
Yeah,
like it's like whatever I'm creating here, I'm more interested. It's like, I guess it's like maybe I could just do like my YouTube channel, but then it's like, then I'm forced to do it.
Yeah.
I like the ability to have the freedom to make my own stuff and to be like, let me grow that alongside all this other shit that I'm doing.
If there is something to being held accountable for some kind of work, and you're lucky that it's for things that you also like to do personally.
Yeah.
We're all very lucky in that sense, I think. Do you tell people that you are a podcast producer or host for a living? When someone's like, what do you do, Miles? What do you say?
This is actually interesting. I
get so nervous every time.
I get nervous every time. I would say probably the thing I say most is I'm a podcast producer. But the thing I'm trying to do recently is to tell people that I'm a director. Because I do direct. But it's a smaller part of my job. But I was talking to my friend who's a bigger director, and he was like,
you're a fucking director.
He was like,
bitch.
You're a fucking director. You know how to direct. Yeah. You've made significant money directing. Like I direct like freelance projects and stuff sometimes. And he was like, but you need to tell people that you're a director, so that way all of your friends who are in the industry, when they're looking for a director, like, oh, who's a director? Miles is a director. So I think I'm trying to tell people I'm a director and I produce podcasts.
Same.
Yeah.
I have literally directed 2 documentaries that are on their way.
That's right.
Massive festivals and like potentially streaming platforms. And I still feel uncomfortable when someone asks me what I do. And I'm like, I'm a content creator.
Yeah, that's tough.
I've started saying I'm a filmmaker and a creator. So that's like in your face. Yeah. And then I yell at them and I say, don't ask me personal questions. So moving on to your personal questions.
Yeah, please.
Again, where do you see yourself in the next 3 years? Because you're on your way up.
I don't know.
Ooh, I love that answer.
I mean, I'm also going to be a dad.
You're going to have a 3-year-old. What the fuck? What's your baby's name? Tell us.
That sounds fucking awesome. I'm like psyched for it to be able to talk.
Yeah,
the baby. But I'm going to be a dad.
You're not telling us the name.
No.
You're keeping it a secret.
Not yet. I know the name.
You know the name.
Kelsey, darragh, Bonsignore.
Kelsey is an androgynous name. Kelsey Grammer.
But no, our child will be like 3, which is awesome.
Crazy.
I'm psyched to, I don't know. I'm psyched to be a dad. I also in 3 years, to me, it's like, I want to be doing the same stuff, but bigger.
I love that. And to think about what 3 years we just went through with like the panini covering so much time.
Holy
I'm like,
shit.
Also, nothing and everything can happen in 3 years.
Yeah.
Like you could stay exactly the same owning a talent and a project and getting better at your craft. Or you could like go live in fucking India for a year. Like anything. I don't know. I like your answer. I don't know. And don't ask me.
And also there are lots of things like, my directing stuff. I'd love to be a bigger director. I'd love to direct a film, like all that stuff. But I just is about doing it. We'll see.
Why didn't you direct like the Try Guys movie? So how do you stay confident during rough times?
Oh, great question, Kelsey. How do I stay confident during rough times? I think that I have the opportunity to do the things that I do. Do you know my whole thing?
No.
Do you know anything about me?
I
came on this podcast and I was specifically like, I think that there's something I want to talk about.
Ooh.
But I don't know if Kelsey knows this about me, but I think it helps.
I know what you're talking about, and I wasn't going to ask unless it came up.
Really?
So you go.
Well, to me, it's like it's the shortcut to get to a lot of my answers.
Let's go.
Yeah, like I've dealt with like a crazy amount of grief since I was like 17. So my brother died when I was 17. I had another friend pass away my freshman year of college. And, you know, my best friend from high school passed away during the pandemic. Like I just have dealt with a lot of crazy grief. But I think that, especially like my brother dying when I was really young, and he was sick when I was super young, like 4, and then he got sick again when I was a freshman in high school.
Can I ask how he passed?
Cancer, brain cancer.
Wow.
So, an intense one. Yeah. But yeah, like how do I stay confident? Funny roundabout way to answer that. But I think that, how do I stay confident? Well, everything's horrible.
I have no choice. I think that survival.
It's something, and I'm trying to make a fucking YouTube video about this sometime soon.
Interesting.
But just the idea that like that experience pushed me to be like, I have the health and the safety and the freedom to be able to do so many things that a lot of people don't have. And like my brother was in the hospital for so much of the last couple of years of his life, and it sucked. And he was like he had no freedom, no agency to do things he wanted to do because he had to focus on this emergent thing. So it's like the only thing stopping me from like making a YouTube video and putting it online, it's just like I got to do it.
Amen.
And I think that oftentimes like when I'm trying to feel confident, I'm just like, oh fuck, like the people around who are acting confident, it's just a switch flip. They're not, they don't have any more information. Maybe they do, but
Illuminati stuff.
Yeah. They know like about aliens and how the aliens fucking, probe us.
Higher consciousness.
Higher consciousness. Yeah. But I think that, I'm just like, I have the agency to be able to do all sorts of stuff. And so I'm excited to do it.
I thank you for sharing all that.
Yeah, sure.
I was like waiting for the trauma. I like knew, and I was like, but I want to hear it in his own words. I think that it's so interesting to hear that that's like, I don't want to say driving force, because it's not like you have to go back to that part of your life every time you need confidence or like it's a nice mindful reminder, but you don't. It's so funny to even say this. Like, you don't come across as a person who's dealt with a lot of death and like loss in your life.
I know.
And it's also one of those things of like the reminder of like, you never know what someone's story is. Like, you never know what people have gone through.
Yeah.
And how do you, like, I just went through a breakup and I will tell anyone. Yeah. I'm like, I just went through a breakup. How am I supposed to pretend to be in the Zoom meeting and like not talk about this loss, which the person's very much still alive. And it's like, how's that not the first thing you say every time you're existing?
Yeah, I mean, in college, I didn't tell anybody until it was like forcibly brought up in a group setting. But I actually was really grateful that it did. It was a friend of mine where I was on an improv team, and then this was like in like November of freshman year.
Did he do it on stage?
No.
Oh, thank God. I was like, this is trauma.
I wouldn't have admitted it.
Oh, you would have been like, no, but.
It was in a group setting. We were doing like, say your life in 2 minutes. So everyone was like, this is my life. And like, I grew up here and I did it. And we're like a little timer, like time. And that's this cute way to get to know everyone at this improv team. And I'd been friends, like some of these guys were my best friends. And I just started getting to know them. But it was like November first semester. And, this friend of mine, this girl who I really admire, and who is now, doing incredible things. But I always had a sneaking suspicion that she knew what I had just been through. My brother died the day before orientation from college, in between senior year and freshman year of college.
Wow.
So, like, I was going into this it was like a month or two later, I was in school. And I didn't tell anybody. And so then we're in this group setting, and I do my life. Don't mention my brother at all. Don't even mention that I have a sibling. Just tell my life start to finish. Yeah, I did this, and I liked film, and I'm here, and whatever. Tell my life. And she had been. Sometimes there were questions, but it wasn't that common. She goes, "Do you have any siblings?"
Oh.
And I always thought that she knew, and she was trying to help me because she had a friend who went to high school with me, but was older, but knew my brother.
So you're like.
So I'm like, I think she maybe knows, but I don't know. And she goes, do you have any siblings? And I said, yeah, I have a brother, but he passed away. And she said, how long ago? And I said, which I actually was so grateful she did this. And I think that she was doing it as a way of being like, what if you're hiding this very key detail that it seems like, and these are like my friends.
Right. It's not strangers.
And it wasn't like she was like pushing me to admit something. I
outing
really,
you.
Yeah. And so I was like, I think that was like 3 months ago.
Holy
and everyone was like, Because it's just like that's too soon. They want it to
No.
be so long,
Yeah.
you know.
It's
So-
too soon for anyone to also know how to respond.
And no one at that age does.
No.
'Cause
Good point.
No one at that age knows how to really deal with
Loss,
that. Loss
yeah.
is very strange. But one of my best friends, my best friend Kendall, went through something similar when she was young, and that's something we bonded over. Was just like having to deal with those intense feelings, and your friends don't know. They're fucking trying to do whatever. So
Yeah,
their
trying to smoke
problems are
weed and fuck.
and that's like also what I was trying to do. But like I was like, fucking God.
God, now I have to deal with this.
Grief.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So when you went through, other losses,
Mhm.
you can't imagine that you're gonna react the same and that it feels the same and that you're familiar with grief, or were you like, I'm a pro, no problem. Here's the 7 stages. What's her name? Kugler invented them, and I'm just going through the motions.
No, it sucks ass every time. But I also like they're always different. Like and I'm not like also like I'm not like I'm not like proud.
You should be. I'm not kidding. You
feel,
should be.
I feel that it is my place now to be able to help young kids. A lot of kids message me and stuff that are like my brother died or whatever, and I feel that's like what I'm proud of.
Yeah,
but I'm like things around that time that bother me were like whenever someone's like. Yeah, everything happens for a reason. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. Fuck you.
Yeah.
You don't know anything. And I still feel that way.
Well, I just said that to you 5 minutes before we started recording.
But I mean, I honestly didn't even remember you said that. But I do, like, I have such a problem with that. And I think that is something that people say to try to, like, I get why. But it's just like, I think that that's absolutely untrue.
Why?
Why things happen for a reason?
Why don't they? Why isn't there a reason?
Because what's the fucking reason that would like facilitate that amount of horrible loss that like is the reason, like no reason is worth that.
Is
like,
it to teach? I mean, I don't know who's teaching us anything.
Well, but again, it's like whose reason? Like, is it God's? Like, it's
Do
like
you believe in God?
I think there's like some sort of magical energy that's like a guy tinkering around. But I kind of think that when I think
Don't
about
say
God,
it's a guy tinkering around.
I kind of like it's a guy
Sounded
tinkering
like
around.
A drunk man in
No,
Venice,
that's kind of
like
what I think.
playing chess and
like
selling crystals.
my new thing that's kind of like a fun story that I'm like, this would kind of be cool. It's all stories, but I'm like, it'd be kind of cool if it was like a guy that was like, or a girl.
Or them.
Always uplift female creators.
Amen. I heard it here first.
And just like someone who was like, all right, I like made this like thing. They like Big Bang. They're like, I created the world, and they're like, oh fuck, there's like a tsunami. Like, I'm not really sure like what I'm supposed to do.
How do I fix this?
Yeah, like it's like
babies aren't supposed to die.
Yeah, like some of these people are being crazy. Like, how do I? Like, there's like a whole war.
This
like,
is not what they wanted.
Yeah, like I just sort of am like, because I don't know, like if there is some sort of all-knowing, all-being like orb in the sky, that's being like, these people had sex and they have to die now. Like, I don't think.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I don't think that exists. But I think that there's
that.
like maybe some sort of something that's out there that's kind of cool.
I agree with that. I think that's a generational thing too, is that like religion was such an important part for people to feel community and comfort and reason. And I like the unknown. Did that help with your grief? Is like it's all just a bunch of like unfairness and nothing was promised?
I don't think it's a bunch of unfairness. I just think it is like what it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like I'm not out here being like the world's fucked. And actually, I think that is the coin flip of where I could have gone. And I could have gone to this place where
that's
it's like.
why I think you should be proud.
Yeah. Well, thank you. That's why I'm like, I could have been just like, everything fucking sucks. Everyone's horrible. People don't know anything. But instead, I think that the place that it brought me was like, how lucky am I that I get to still be here and I get to still, and that like, the horrible things go on all around the world. And it's horrible. And people who have to deal with these unbelievable stakes that prevent them from just like basic everyday necessities. And so it's like how lucky we are to be alive right now.
I knew it, but I wasn't gonna fucking ruin your moment.
But I also will say that I am a thespian. No, I also will say that like I think I wow, I had something so good to say.
And then Hamilton ruined
and then
it.
Hamilton came in.
That's a classic moment.
It's brought me closer to anybody feeling pain. When I was younger, and I felt this happened when I was 17, and I was in college, and at first I'd be like, "Oh, fuck you!" Like you're complaining about some crush.
Yeah.
And then I quickly learned that like that was not making me a happy person. And
wow,
also
that's crazy to realize at 17.
Yeah, it was not. Because I just was like, oh, like.
That's actualized as fuck.
Well, I'm like, the sliding scale of the level of feeling that I'm experiencing right now is like here and this
There.
hell.
Yeah.
And the sliding scale is still 0 to hell for other people, but their hell is a higher, you know, it's like
yeah, sure.
they dealt with a breakup and that's horrible and they're feeling so emotional about it. And it's like, that is the worst thing that they may have experienced thus far.
Yes.
So it's like that, I have to give that,
Yes.
you know, credence. And
I think that's really, again, actualized for 17. I think I'm just coming up on that as a 30-year-old. And it's, pain is universal.
Yeah,
which is like gorgeous and like shitty and annoying and like eye rolly.
Yeah.
It's like, but I think you're coming at it from such a lens of gratitude, which separates me from the people who experience pain that I can't stand and don't like to be around and can't stand to hear it, and people that I can connect with and go, I have a choice also to be surrounded with people who take pain and turn it into gratitude. And it's not like toxic positivity. It's just mindfulness.
No. Yeah. And also like those people who like make their pain or their trauma their identity. And I think that that's such a trap.
Yep.
Because it feels like, obviously that shit's all so important to me,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't, like you said, I don't really come off like somebody who's dealt with that, because like I am not interested in, it's also like, I don't know. I'm trying to get better about talking about it, because I actually do think it like
it's
helps.
important to talk about.
It helps understand me a little bit, but I am just like, I don't need that to be the first step forward when people meet me.
Yeah. You are so much more, and that's like a piece people can also, in a way, be privileged to understand about you.
Yeah,
because that is something that shapes you, whether you like it or not.
Oh my gosh, of course.
What's the best thing that someone said to you in response to when you shared about your grief? Like, I think the innate reaction is, oh my God, I'm so sorry, or like, oh, that's terrible, or how can I help? Like, do you remember anything being something that was like, oh yeah, people are good, or I don't have to just respond the same way every time?
The like, oh, like if you're out there and someone, I was talking about this on my show that Kelsey was on.
Perfect person.
Listen to the episode.
Out now.
But I think that like the most helpful thing was just people not looking for solutions.
Ooh.
And also to be there. Just be there. If you have a friend, if you're in high school and your friend loses their dad and brother, whatever, just be there. It doesn't really matter what you say. You're not. There's no key.
Solve that.
There's no like, oh, if I just try this enough times, I'm gonna be able to make this person feel better.
Yeah.
They're not gonna feel better, and they may never really feel better, but they're gonna feel over the course of time. It's gonna numb. It's gonna feel different.
Waves,
but it's like you can't solve it. So just be present.
Damn.
Sit there with your laptop next to them and be like, do you want to watch a movie or do you just want to sit here? You want to go get food, or we can just sit here? It doesn't matter. I just like, that was what mattered to me, was my friends being around. Because you gotta just be around your friends, support your friends.
Yeah, there's like something you don't realize until you're much older, because you spend so much of your youth trying to get laid and be cool and popular.
Fuck yeah.
Like as we did. We
Fucking
were so cool.
Metal as hell,
yeah.
dude.
What did you say?
Metal?
Metal, like rock?
Like metal as hell.
Cool, got it. Not my era. Community is everything. Like friendship, love,
community is everything.
If there's one thing I know, it's that love makes the world go round.
That's right.
And it's annoying.
I think about all the time how grateful I am for my friends.
Ooh.
I also just think that people should, like, I try to, out of the blue, if I'm thinking about somebody recently, I've just, in the past couple of years, I will just text them. Even if I haven't talked to them in years.
Oh my God.
Hey, I was just thinking about you.
God, thoughts are so powerful, dude.
Yeah. And it makes people feel seen, and it's helpful.
And just to get a text randomly, just like, oh my God, you're thinking about me. Unless it's in like a weird way, then I'm like, keep it to yourself.
Oh, like
Robin.
I was thinking about you, Winky.
Yeah. Like I thought about you in the shower.
Yikes.
Remember
That's
that time in the woods?
No.
Yeah. Wow, we went deep.
We did.
What was your segment called about going deep?
Getting real.
Be real. It's time to be real.
It's time to get real.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, no problem.
This person wants to know. Oh, this was. I can't ask that right after we just had such a heartful conversation.
No. Let's hear it.
Okay.
Let the energy of the show, Kelsey, be like a wave.
A chaotic wave. Okay. Were there any underlying meanings when you called Ned a scumbag before the scandal? Don't recall? Plead the fifth.
Plead the fifth.
Okay.
But yes.
What is one word that you use to describe your feelings about becoming a dad?
Oh man.
If that's a feeling.
Stoked.
Stoked?
Yeah, stoked or like it's gonna be crazy.
How come I had to hear about you having a baby through the internet?
That's a good point.
You don't share. You don't. For as much as you are, you literally talk for a fucking living. You sure don't talk about your private life.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. I think that also with the baby thing, I have seen it. I have
Spill.
I have seen people announce their baby like it's a fucking piece of merch.
Ooh.
And I just was like, I am stoked about having a baby. We're having this baby, and I want to let people know. Like, I just was like, we're not doing a fucking gender reveal.
No.
We're not doing because it's like, whatever. Who cares? It's
No.
all a starter package. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like we don't want the same color of everything.
no.
Because that's what
it's
happens.
also, it's like, what? Who gives a shit?
No.
A kid's going to be raised in LA.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be fine.
Then no sports in our house, though.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
No.
I'm so glad you said that.
No.
No football.
Our child's fucking. Oh, of
Absolutely
course, no
not.
football.
Yeah.
I think Sarah's a big jock, honestly, so our kid will probably do basketball. But
Oh, okay. Well, that's right. The thing you got to worry about that is ankles and knees.
yeah, football's
You
no.
can get enough.
Absolutely not.
You can get, yeah.
But they will be musical theater training day one.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm just so excited. I was actually recently listing a list of anxieties to a friend of mine. We were like, I was like,
what were they? Say them.
I was like, oh man, I'm like worried about this like work thing, and I'm like all stressed out, and like this, that.
What work thing could you possibly be worried about?
And he was like, oh, and also, man, like, yeah, you get the baby coming soon, like that's got to be stressful. And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess that too. Like, I'm not.
But
like,
you're not stressed.
No, I'm not worried. I mean, again, like when I say that, I'm not trying to be like it's not a big deal. It is a big deal. It's gonna be crazy.
Huge.
And by the way, I'm gonna be stressed then, sleep deprived, of course.
But why worry now?
But I'm also not like I'm just like we're excited and we have a really good thing going.
Good.
I really like my wife a lot, and we have
That's
a good.
important.
We have like a good house, and we're fun to be around.
And you know what? Say it fucking louder, because I was just talking about this with a guy that I'm sleeping with, where we can't stand people who are like, this old ball and chain.
That's psycho.
We've been through it, everything, the ups, the downs, and I want to kill him, but I love him.
That's crazy.
Don't be together.
No, don't be together.
There is a world in which you can be good majority of the time.
Yeah. Also, like it's because I think you're one of these people.
Careful.
My greatest enemies. No, but like I am excited to have kids because I think me and Sarah are gonna be fantastic parents. We're stoked to have kids.
You should have children.
But also, I am excited because I know there's a lot of people in my life who don't necessarily want to have kids. But I'm excited because our kid will get to have those people in our child's life, which is like, you know what I mean? It's like, because I think there are great people, and I'm like, oh, you'd be such a good mentor and whatever. And I don't think everyone needs to have kids, but I'm like, I'm stoked for our child to have those people as someone they look up to.
I think it's a good reaction when people are like, yes, you should have a child.
Yeah.
No one has said that to me ever. Never. Even when I was in a relationship, no one has said, you guys should be having babies. You should have multiples.
I'm psyched.
Are you trying to have them close together? Because that's a thing you got to think about.
Yeah, we're trying to go for it. Yeah.
Just fucking pop them in and out.
Pop them in and out.
Like a
we
weird
might.
Mormon
I'm
family.
hoping for like one of them's twins, because that'd be kind of sick.
Do you have any twins in your family?
No.
Well,
But like with like, you know, like
I
IVF
don't
shit,
think
it's like
genetically it's possible, right?
No, with IVF it raises the. Not that we're gonna do
IVF,
that.
IVF,
I'm not
IVF,
saying that
IVF,
we're gonna do
IVF.
anything. I'm not saying we're doing anything.
Why?
But I'm just,
Why not?
who knows?
Okay.
Because people are weird about. I don't want like people to be talking about,
Your pussy. Got it.
My wife's,
Got it.
But,
Her pussy. Got it.
oh yeah. But that does raise the chance.
We know you have a healthy urethra, so
Very,
you exposed yourself.
very
here.
healthy, very healthy. Cranberry juice.
If they ask, that's a myth. What is that from The Departed?
That's not true.
What, you want your fucking period? No, cranberry juice has a ton of sugar in it, and you don't want sugar when you have a UTI.
Yeah, but only if you cranberry juice cocktail.
No, cranberries are natural sugars.
Yeah, but that's not.
Sugar is not good for
There
your...
are cranberry pills that the doctor gives you for UTIs.
That is a myth, and a doctor is not giving you cranberry pills, Miles. You don't get prescribed a cranberry.
I'm being gaslit right now. On Confidently Insecure. I was gaslit on Confidently Insecure. My next
The
vlog.
title of the podcast.
My next vlog.
We need more scandal. There's not enough happening.
Kelsey Darragh thinks she's confidently insecure.
Well, that just goes to show how much you don't listen to the podcast because we've dispelled the cranberry myth before.
Okay. What do I take then if my urethra's hurting?
An antibiotic, a scientific
That's fair.
medicine.
That's
Okay.
fair.
If you were asked to become the fourth try guy, would you?
No.
You said no before you even finished the question. That's how strongly you feel?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I don't think that there needs to be 4.
Mm.
And also, like...
Arguably, it's always meant to be 3. Try.
Yeah, try. But also, like, I just... It's... I mean, I love being in videos of Try Guys.
But if you can be in them and not have to be a try guy, by all means, my dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, do that.
I'm sure I'll be in stuff coming forward. I love it. It's great.
Yeah.
It's really fun, but, like, I don't need to be,
A guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I like that answer. Were you popular in high school? Yes or no question?
My high school was 40 kids a
That
class.
wasn't a yes. Sorry, say what you said again.
My high school was 40 kids a class.
What?
Real small.
In North Carolina?
North Carolina. A private
Lord.
school. Private school. My dad taught there, so that's why I was able to go.
What do you teach?
He taught 3rd and 4th grade math and science.
Ooh.
And
My
English. Small school.
Okay.
So it's like he had like a study
Yeah,
group,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that was the buddy. But yeah, I really was. I was popular. But it was the bar was low.
What were you known for? Like being a teacher's kid?
Yeah, I was a teacher's kid, so like all the teachers knew me because of that.
Were you a good student?
I was okay.
How could you not be a straight A
smart
student?
because we didn't have grades.
What?
Yeah.
Did you go to a crunchy school?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. I'm into this shit. Are you going to send your kid out to a weird school? I want that.
I would be into it.
I would so be.
Although it's tough because California has really tough private school, public schools. But I would like her kid to go to public school.
Like
it just
a
depends
Montessori.
It depends. Maybe.
I watch those TikToks and it's changed me.
It depends. It just depends on a lot. Like I loved my education, and again, like we got like test scores and shit. We just didn't like get
Yeah, A, B.
we didn't get letter grades.
Did you take the SATs?
Yeah.
What'd you get?
I don't even fucking remember. But I got into UNC Chapel Hill.
You said that so quickly. What I heard was, I got a DUI Hill.
I got a DUI, and they let me in to school. They said, we'll just take this. We don't need your SAT score. You got a DUI?
Fuck the testing.
What was your ABV?
Point
blood alcohol?
Right on score.
That's good.
Right on schedule.
Yeah.
That's how you got into Chapel Hill was what?
I got a 4.0 GPA, 0.4 BA. I'm trying to do a joke.
It was good. I got it.
Yeah, I went into UNC Chapel Hill, but I don't remember what I got on my SATs.
But you got in?
Mm-hmm.
How many colleges did you get into?
NYU was my dream school.
Same.
Didn't get in.
Same. And
Devastated.
USC didn't get in.
Devastated.
Yeah.
That
same.
was the only. I was like, I'm going to NYU, and I'm going to be the Lonely Island, but in this age, modern age.
And I had friends that went, which is worse.
I knew a girl that went.
Yeah.
And I was so
Is she
jealous.
successful?
I don't know.
We got to check in on her.
But
surprise! That's who we've got on the line. Use your computer to answer the phone.
Beep boop. So,
Hey,
but yeah,
Miles.
I also got into Columbia College of Chicago.
Oh.
Not Columbia University. By the way, I toured Columbia University, and halfway through the tour, I looked at my mom and I said,
No.
I'm not going here.
This is up.
The kids were fucking
state.
stressed.
Oh.
I was like, this is not worth it. Why are people going here?
It's grad school.
Yeah, it's like grad school level.
Yeah.
I was like, this is like, these kids are, all they're talking about is studying.
Yeah.
And
I don't believe in college.
Can't handle it. Oh, I fully believe in college. I think that's
really
crazy. I love
Hold
college.
on. Why?
Because I think college.
Oh, you think for the social approach.
Well, no, it's also if you can have college is fucking stupid expensive and it should be cheaper. Take that out of the equation because
Okay.
I'm like, colleges are way too fucking expensive.
Okay, yeah, no, I still think they're stupid.
Did you go to college?
I dropped out of 3.
So here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
College isn't for everybody. I don't think everybody should go.
Unless you have someone's life in your hand. Like you're a lawyer or a doctor. I don't think you need to go.
I so disagree. And
Oh
here's
my
why.
God.
I had 4 years to figure out my shit to
Go
learn.
figure it out and go figure it out. You don't have to be in college.
Yeah, but I have a degree afterward, which is going to allow me to make more money.
Do those matter anymore?
100%. You're such
okay.
a fucking privileged artist. You're like an influencer, Kelsey. Don't tell kids. Don't
Drag
tell
me.
aspiring influencers who are following you to not go to college.
I still stand by, despite what I do for a living, that I wasted so much time.
You did. You know who didn't? Me.
What did you do in college?
I double majored and I minored.
In what?
I got a studies in production and dramatic art, and I minored in screenwriting.
Okay, all of those are useless.
You know that I'm doing all 3 of those in my life.
That's my point. I wish I would have gotten here sooner and started working on my craft.
Where'd you go
longer.
to school? Where'd you go to school?
First, I went to Auburn University.
Yeah, never heard of it.
Alabama.
Never heard of it.
Yes, you have. You went to North Carolina, motherfucker.
Auburn.
Auburn.
Sure, whatever.
Roll Tide. That's
but also,
Alabama.
I think that did you have a job when you dropped out of college? Did you have to get a job? Or did your parents sort of it was daddy's credit card?
No, it was I went because this is a funny story. My sister got a DUI.
Yeah.
And my parents saved for us for college, and they said, well, if you don't get a DUI or get arrested, you guys can have this money to go to college.
Yeah.
My sister got a DUI and got arrested.
Got it.
So she did not get her college money. That rolled into my bank account. So I got to go to an State college.
Yeah.
And dropped out.
Did you keep the money?
I used it to then try to go to New York Film Academy.
Dropped out.
Came here to LA first because you had to do a summer on the Warner Brothers lot.
Uh-huh.
Finished, got an AA.
Mm-hmm.
Tried to go to LA City College and get a film degree.
LACC.
Yep. And dropped out.
Got it. Seems like a you problem.
Yeah. No, it was.
Also, you had money.
I got scholarships for NIFA.
Mm-hmm.
And LA City College wasn't that expensive.
Right.
It was like less than an expensive dinner in Los Angeles.
This all seems like a you problem.
I just think if you know what you want to do, even if you
don't
know what you want to do.
Here's the thing though. If you are like you,
I'm great.
So if you're Kelsey type,
I
who
think
is
you
like,
should believe in yourself and go forth in a direction of something you like to do.
Yeah. Sometimes I hear you. Sometimes I hear you make these blanket. You're like, here's the law, and it's like you are such a specific. You are unlike anybody I've ever known.
I'm so glad I exude that confidence.
You are unlike anybody I know, but you make laws for the rest of
the
other
world.
people as if they're like you,
need to hear
and they're not.
I think girls need to hear you don't need to go to college because it's a 4-year.
Can I tell you about my college experience?
Yeah, go ahead. That's what this podcast is about.
So I loved college because of a couple of reasons. One, I got to learn a lot of wonderful things. Being able to just here's your job is to learn, I find is great. It's fucking fantastic. It helps.
Not everyone goes to college feeling that way. Sorry, carry on.
What are you talking? What do you mean not everyone goes to college feeling that way?
People go to college to party, Miles. They don't go to learn.
If you go to fucking Auburn.
Chapel Hill?
Yeah, I partied.
School?
I partied and I was a good student.
People don't. They fuck off in college.
You
hard.
fucked off.
A lot of people fuck off in college.
Yeah,
if you fucked off in college, leave a comment below.
I for sure fucked off in college.
I learned more in high school and on TikTok than in college. That's just me. Go back to you.
Don't go
Let's
to Kelsey.
Keep talking about
don't go to Kelsey for academia.
Don't
advice.
go to Kelsey University.
Don't go to Kelsey University.
Okay, you
but
had
I
a great
love
time.
you've spoken your truth.
Yeah.
And now it's time for me to speak.
Here
mine.
it is.
See, that's what you need to do. Is you're not listening.
I'm not listening. I'm not a good listener. I'm practicing.
Listen to me.
I hear you.
Thank you. I loved college. I thought it was great. And I think that, again, everyone's on their own path and their own journey. But if you can get money or you can get scholarships and it's free, I think that it is worth it to be getting a degree at the end of that. Because if you're not going into the arts, if you're going to, and honestly, but even if you are, I was able to get jobs because I had a degree that allowed me more money. So I had more of a free fall that was like a little parachute. So that way I'm making more money as I'm trying to get to what I want to do.
Did you join a fraternity?
No.
In Chapel Hill? That's a pretty southern college.
Oh, there's definitely Greek life.
Why didn't you Greek life? Because I think that's what ruins it for a lot of people.
No, but that's the thing is,
it creates a false sense of brotherhood and you pay for friends.
That shit's fucking crazy.
Okay, so we agree on that.
I hate fraternities.
Okay.
I know people in them, but no, that's not for me. And I think that I found my community doing improv and theater.
Amen. The best friends are theater friends.
That's the thing is, you're going to meet friends. And I also went to such a small high school that going to a giant college.
Oh, yeah. You needed that to be a normal person.
I was like, I need to go to this. And I was good socially. I wasn't awkward or anything, but I was just
you.
This is me.
Yeah.
Cut to me being awkward.
But you needed that. You needed that.
I needed it.
Because you weren't like a city boy growing up with the hard knocks of street life. I think I grew up in Florida. I was done growing up by the time I left.
Yeah, I
didn't need to be socialized. I needed Xanax and therapy.
Yeah, you needed Xanax and to come to LA to be an influencer.
Yeah. And look at us now.
Yeah.
You're an influencer, whether you like it or not. Do you feel like an influencer?
No. That's a good question. I'm trying to get more, I think it's
what feels wrong about it for you? Not authentic to your brand, and no shade to us. I don't feel shaded.
No, I because it's very cool. I feel very lucky. I'm I have like 100,000 followers. It's like
That's
an
crazy.
insurmountable
Yeah,
amount of
that's
people
crazy.
to imagine. But I think that I don't know. I think that it feels very temporary. I don't know why.
Okay.
Maybe it is.
It's probably a trend.
Yeah.
You said something interesting about actors earlier. When I grew up in the same era of actors being like the highest form of like art, like self-owned art, and we were so lucky to be in a generation that like made a new path.
Yeah.
And it's because we had so much control over it. I'm telling you things you already know. Okay, we're literally coming to the end of the podcast, and
oh my gosh.
we have so many fucking questions left. So we're gonna do a speed round.
Here we go.
So this is yes or no, or the fastest you can answer it. Okay, ready? Have you always been funny?
Yes.
Do you always want to work in video and audio media?
Yes.
Perfect Person started as a Patreon trial for the Try Guys. When and how did you decide to strike it out on your own?
Pass, because that question's not correct.
Oh, how do you know when a choice you're making that scares you is for growth or a bad one, i.e. starting a new career?
You should do things that make you uncomfortable and that scare you.
For both of us, this is a question for both of us. What is something that fills your cup emotionally and makes you happy and whole? Coffee.
Fucking coffee.
I'm back to drinking coffee.
I love coffee. It's
Is
my favorite thing. I look forward to it every morning.
What about your smoothies?
I do a smoothie and then I have a coffee.
Oh.
But to me, making a coffee and sitting on the porch and not looking at my phone is like, that fills my cup.
Amen, bitch.
Sitting with and walking with my dog.
Ooh, I forgot you have a dog. I was excited because I thought he was going to be here.
He's cute. No, he's not here.
What do you really think of candid competition?
That's my favorite thing that I think the Drag Guys have ever made. And I think that we should keep making them even
Same.
though they don't do that well.
Same. What is your favorite version of the intro for advice that will go for miles?
The original's really funny, but the Netflix documentary one is really good. I did like a fake trailer for a Netflix documentary about me that doesn't exist.
I would like to see it. What are your thoughts on the societal constructions of motherhood and fatherhood?
Oh, I mean,
Quick answer.
They don't exist. Like, people do different things for their child, and like obviously the mother falls into roles because if she's going to be doing things like breastfeeding, but like there is no right or wrong way to have each person do.
Breastfeeding is really the only thing.
That's the only thing,
and everything else can be nothing.
Everything else should be
nothing.
like you just figure it out between the two of you. Yeah.
What's your favorite meal?
Oh man, recently I've been
Miles, this is a speed round. Remember that energy you had?
Okay.
Not selling cars here.
Yellow curry.
Ooh, favorite comfort movie?
Social Network.
Ooh, my favorite soundtrack. Favorite Try Guys podcast to produce?
Podcast episode?
Podcast.
Favorite Try Guys podcast?
Yes.
The tripod, because I get to be on it.
What the? You're on Guilty Pleasures all the time.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Okay, Guilty Pleasures then.
How does a 30-year-old deal with the fear of never finding their forever partner?
You don't have to if you don't want to, but also you're going to find love if you stop looking for it so hard. Relax, date people, live your life, and that's going to open you up to opportunities.
When you're looking for love, the best thing to do is give it, is what I found.
Yeah, I love that.
If you were a potato, how many spuds would you have?
5.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Relax.
Do you actually feel as confident as you come off?
No.
Why don't you like Frozen 2?
I love Frozen 2.
Okay.
But the music's good. I think that the story is not as striking as the first one.
Can you do a beard grooming tutorial on YouTube?
I would, but I'm not that good at it. I'm still learning.
Okay. Favorite thing about your wife?
Oh, she's so funny and really, yeah, she's really funny.
She's hot. How was the fame of What Happened to the Try Guys affected you as an individual?
The fame?
Mm-hmm.
Are they referring to the recent event? Or
yes.
No? I mean, it's fucking crazy. It's like, I do wish that I could. It feels like I'm at work all the time, but not in the good way.
Yeah,
just
and like,
it's like
on your phone.
Yeah, I'm like on Twitter, and it's like fucking all in my face all the time.
Who's the most random person, and you don't have to say their name, but like, who are they to you, that has reached out to talk to you about this?
Oh, God. I mean, there's like fucking weird reporters saying about DMs. It's like dumb.
People from like high school have hit me up, and I'm like, lose my number.
I think people are actually contacting my best friends more than they are me. Like
Smart.
Kids that we went to college with are hitting up like my best friend to be like,
leave you alone.
Yeah.
What's something you're anxious about right now?
Oh man, I gotta offload these cards, and then I want to finish a movie.
Oh, what movie?
I'm watching The Black Phone, but I didn't finish it.
What's it like to be America's darling?
Oh, that's very sweet, and I feel very grateful. This is actually a side thing, but no, I feel very grateful. I also feel very grateful for the audience, the obviously like Try Guys being an audience subsidiary of that, people who listen to the podcast subsidiary of that, people who like me, maybe. And
rarely
that group of people, that I feel very lucky about that demographic of people.
Favorite movie we've done on Guilty Pleasures?
Greatest Showman, because I got to be on it.
How have you decorated the baby room yet?
No. but we're figuring it out.
This was kind of the same one. Let's end on a good one. What is your nighttime routine?
Oh, my nighttime routine. Big cup of water.
Big.
Chugging it down.
Cold, room temp? What are we talking?
Room temp, but sometimes I'll put ice in it.
Oh, you psycho.
I'm doing the thing from the bear where I am
Ooh.
drinking out of the soup containers.
Oh, you're insane.
Because there's so much more water in there than
Doesn't
in a
it
glass.
taste metally to you?
No, it's not. It's not. No. It's a plastic soup container.
Oh, sorry. I thought metal.
Metally.
Soup comes in metal cans.
I'm not drinking out of a jagged metal can.
Okay, well, I don't know your life. Miles, I went into this podcast episode, which is so funny because we both asked each other to be on the podcast. I was literally going to ask you to be on this week, and then you asked me on yours. And I was like, kismet. Because I wanted to know more about you. And I feel like I have walked away knowing so much about you.
Thanks, Kelsey.
So thank you so much for being so open-hearted, so funny, and so charming, and all the hard work that you do. You're one of the good ones.
Thank you.
Where can people find you?
You can find me at Miles Bond on everything. And then also you can listen to my podcast, Perfect Person, where we get podcasts.
And you're going to set up my podcast room so that I can answer questions from the fans?
I for sure will.
I cannot wait. Thank you, Miles. Have a fantastic week. Podcast listeners, confidants, if you want to rate this 5 stars on iTunes, that would really, really help. If you don't want to rate it 5 stars, don't rate it at all because I'm very sensitive. Speaking of sensitive, the merch is still out. And we'll see you next week. Bye, Miles.
Bye.